G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game of Age of Empires 4 on the brand new expansion Dynasties of the East. Today we are on dry Arabia to watch two of the world's best players face off with brand new civilizations, well, except for this guy over here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's check in and see who we've got here. Sporting it on the east side of the map in the color red, playing as the Golden Horde again. It's Sass. And on the east, or rather west side of the map in the color cyan, playing as the English, it's Louis MT. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a casted game. A pleasure to have your company here today because we are doing old versus new. We're checking out how the new Mongol variant tracks against the OG civilizations. Now, we're doing a bit of a special video today. I will say that right now we're doing something that we've never done before. I'll reveal it a little bit later on in the video, but our main focus here is going to be on this early game. I want to really hone in on this feudal age, understand how these civilizations work, and just how effective the Golden Horde can be on offense, because this civilization is an absolute powerhouse. If you think of the Zerg from StarCraft, it's basically the same thing. There's a lot of units, a lot of really cheap units that are fast, angry, and just like to hurt. That's essentially what we're working with here with the Golden Horde. So let's talk about this civilization. We're not going to focus too much on Louis MT this game, just because he's playing on the English. I know you guys have been playing on the English since the good old days, and you're pretty familiar with this civilization. So we're going to focus on the new stuff, the good stuff. Let's right on board. So he started off with an Uvu. This is all normal. He puts down his Gur on the gold vein. That's all normal. One thing to note is this Gur, it can't move, unfortunately. It does have all the upgrades in it, like the old Gur, but yeah, just doesn't move. And then we've got this big building here in the middle, which you should be familiar with by now, but if you're not, let me explain. This is a landmark, but you don't, I mean, it doesn't age you up. I mean, it does age you up, but by building it, you don't age up. In fact, you have to research things the same way that you have to do with the Abbasids, with the Ayyubids. One thing to note, though, is the age ups that are held within it are exclusive in the sense, or mutually exclusive, I should say. So, as an example, with regard to the Abbasid, if you save the military, or don't use the military wing in the first stage, you can use it later on. However, here, once you don't, or if you don't use it, it's gone forever. So, let's take a look and see exactly what we've got. To age up to the second age, you've got two options. You can go with Khan and Torgoods to reduce the stone cost of the Khan and Torgoods by 20%. Those are two cavalry units. The Khan, you can only have one of them, and Torgoods, you can have many of them. They're expensive though. So that's your first option, and you also increase their health by 30. Your second option is building carts, which produces two building carts which can be unpacked into a military building. And these unpack pretty damn quickly. So if you think about, I don't know whether or not you played Age of Empires 3, I often go back to Age of Empires 3, but if you think of like a wagon in that, like a bank wagon or a barracks wagon, it's the same sort of idea. You can just unpack and build a building. So it's quite nice, especially because early on you get two of them. So you could go for an archery range and a stable, or a barracks and a barracks, however you want to play. So it's pretty cool. However, we've got Sass avoiding that. He's going for the Khan and the Torguards, which I definitely feel is probably going to be a staple. The Khan and the Torguards just make so much sense. The way that these units work together is really, really cool, which we'll undoubtedly be following a little bit later on. Meanwhile, Louis MT is aging up. Oh, he's playing standard English. He's playing OG English. He's playing Season 1, Week 1 English. He's playing Daimyo on King of the Hill English with a whole bunch of archers and a whole bunch of spears. It's good to see. It's good to see. I kind of like it. I like it a lot. Let's look. We know what he's up to. He's going for a pretty early age up time here. And, well, we'll ride on board with Sass and see how he's doing and what the plan is for him. So, one thing to note is that with the Uvu will last forever. Even if you lose, or even if the stone outcropping is exhausted, you don't have to move your Uvu into somewhere new. It will just stay there and it will keep producing stone. And if you lose that Uvu, you can just rebuild it and it will still remember that, hey, there once was a stone outcropping here and I'm allowing you to build it and allowing you to have more stone. So it's a really cool mechanic that they've got, the ability to generate stone all game long without needing those stone outcroppings to remain. But one thing to note on the side of Sass is he's got a lot of villagers on wood here, so I suspect he will be getting particularly aggressive in this game. Uvu being sieged down slowly. We do have units on the way from Louis MT. He's got 2 in queue for both of them. first units now coming out. 438, so not the fastest of age ups. We've seen 350s and 4s, so definitely focusing a little bit more on the economy. A single villager now moving out towards the second stone outcropping to put down an Uvu straight away for Sass and into immediately the Batu Khan. Now, this is something I love about this civilization, the fact that you don't have to go into any military buildings initially. You can just defend with your Batu Khan together with your Torguds. You don't need to get that stable out. You don't need to get that racks out, and especially against a civilization like the English, who like to make those longbows or like to make those kings, it can be very handy to have. So the Batu Khan is going to come out now. Keep in mind the Batu Khan is a hero unit. If you lose him, it's going to make that sound that makes you go, oh gosh, sends shivers down your spine, but he provides a nice little bonus to nearby units. Now, for him to activate that bonus, all he has to do is hit a couple things, and then all of a sudden he'll shoot up an arrow into the air, and everyone will be like, okay, we're excited, and they'll get a nice little damage bonus. So it starts off at 10%, and then 20%, and then 30% depending on the age that you're in. Now, he doesn't have a whole lot of information about his opponent at this stage of the game, Sass, so he's going to make his way forward here. Archer is now in queue, suspecting that, hey, there could be potential aggression coming out, and indeed, the aggression is coming out. He now looks to potentially reinforce or intercept reinforcements. We see the spearman together with the longbow down, but he's going to instead look to chase into the reinforcement line rather than come down and attack towards these enemy forces. And now Torguds coming out. There's a beautiful interaction. I don't know if beautiful is the right term, but there's a wonderful interaction here between the Torguds and the Batu Khan. Now, he's gone into one set of Torguds. He can't afford a second set just yet. That's part of the reason why he's gone into this second early Uvu. He wants to really get that stone rolling. And now we see, popping up into the air, this little arrow. That is going to be the Golden Khan aura, increasing damage by 2. And you'll notice that he's also protected by a Torgud. What does that mean exactly? Well, it means that all of the damage that the Batu Khan takes will be redirected to a Torgud. Now, it normally will show you. Let's see if we can switch this around. Try and... Whoop. I gotta make sure I press the right buttons. It's not showing us right now, but normally there's a little thing that will be above their heads that will denote exactly how it's happening. And you can see exactly what Sass is doing here. He's looking to try and come up the reinforcement line. A lot of longbows here. Only a single spear. He could have taken that out if he wanted to, but I think he knows that if he does that, he's going to lose his Uvu to the south. So he probably wants to put an end to this aggression. Might need to bring Vils out because this is going to be burning down very, very soon. So he needs to think about healing it up. And we now see the Torgud coming out. So effectively, he's got a stable, he's got an archery range, and now he's got a second military production building, a stable as well. Torguds together with the Batu Khan. Gonna look to try and end this. Vil being brought out to get that repair through. And he's easily able to clean up this attack from Louis MT at this stage early on. It's a beautiful combo that he's got, and I love the way that he's playing. The fact that he's able to utilize that early golden tent together with the archery range and really able to keep this composition working quite well for him. The only thing to note is the second set of Torguds have come out at 738, so they're a little bit slower than what you'd normally expect, like Keshiks or Horsemen to be able to come out. But now able to begin moving forward. The archer numbers not particularly high, but honestly, as long as you're able to take out the enemy spears, you're looking very good. And now we can see the true power of the Golden Horde 8 minutes into this game as Louis MT is on the run. His aggression is non-existent anymore. And now, oh, there we go. Now we can see it. So now that Torgud has gone down, we've got this little icon above each of their heads. I don't know if icon's the right term, but the little golden thing above their heads. So we've got the Batu Khan, which is over here. And that is saying that he's being protected, and then we've got the Torgud here, which says that he's protecting the Golden, or the Batu Khan. And that's how you know. So if you see these two units out here, you basically know that you're going to be doing damage to that one Torgud no matter what. You can't. It allows you to prevent or to avoid focus, not avoid, but it means that you can't focus down the Batu Khan instantly, because the whole idea that he is providing his buff throughout the fight. It's not like he just does it once and that's it. It's that he's constantly there with his war cry. He's got, I think his technical weapon is a mace. If we have a look, yeah, he's got a mace that deals 10 damage and a lance that deals 20 when he's charging. So, behind the scenes, let's check in and see how he's doing. We've got wheelbarrow together with double broadaxe, and we've also got iron undermesh that is on the way as well. He's looking to pick up reinforcements. Once again, knows the enemy is over here. A lot of units. He's going to siege down quite quickly here, so he's really going to make a decision. Where do you go? Do you go for the win, or do you go for the Uvu? And it looks like he might go for the win here. And by doing this, by cutting off the enemy halfway through the map here, he's going to be able to attack this reinforcement cycle. And oh, this is very painful here for Louis MT. We can see the military numbers starting to fall significantly fast for him. Now he will lose the Uvu down towards the south, but you got to ask at the end of the day, what cost is it for Louis MT to take that out, when the reality is he's just lost a huge amount of presence on the field. The numbers continue to build for his opponent here. You can see just a +0 damage that's coming up. I don't know exactly how or why that works. I guess it's 10%. If you're getting 10% damage bonus from the Badu Khan, then 10% of 5 is 5.5, and well, it's not doesn't really work. And look at the surround coming in down on this south side, ladies and gentlemen. He's going for it here, and we can see Badu Khan protected up. Archer's going to be focusing down those spears, and the longbow on the back line working their magic, trying to take down those archers. And now we've got ourselves a little falcon that's been thrown out into the air. I don't think it was a debuff. He was just looking to get the line of sight in and really able to surround his opponent. Longbow number has dwindled significantly, not able to do any damage early on, with the exception of taking out that Uvu, but that is an easy to replace building. And Sass now with huge control in this game. The question is, how does Louis MT get back into this game from here? Does he go into a second town center? Does he look to go castle age? Does he just look to scramble a defense together? Keep in mind, he's got villagers out here that will undoubtedly be looking to relocate, because there is a lot of cavalry on this map. And now Sass gets Steeled Arrow, the upgrade coming through, and that is it. But don't go anywhere. We got game number 2 coming up. That's what I was saying. We're going to do something new here. This was a quick game. I've got a second game coming up with this matchup. These two players. Let's watch number 2. Okay, game number 2. It feels weird not saying g'day, fellas, but technically we're not at the start of the video, so I don't have to say it. But we are doing, this is what I was saying, we're doing something new here. We've got 2 quick games in succession, and that's not something that we normally do. I normally like to go for longer games that really show the civilization and all of the things that we've kind of fleshed out and known about the Civ, but I also like seeing these early games which are quite decisive when it comes to early micro or early decisions, and I love the way that Sass played in that last game. So let's see whether or not we get the same outcome, whether or not we get the same things that happen in this game that happen in the last. So, of course, our players need no introduction. In fact, we've already introduced them, though they have swapped sides. Louis MT over on the east side playing as the English, and of course Sass over on the west side playing as the Golden Horde. And we can see him now with that golden tent coming up immediately, throwing down the Gur afterwards. We'll have to steal his build order. I'd tell you what, it's looking pretty good. I love the way, it never actually struck my mind. So I will say right now, this is something that I'm discovering here with you guys. I love the way that Sass utilized the early Tord goods as a replacement for the stable, because you pay 50 gold for a golden tent. It's not very expensive, and you need it to age up. Why is it? Oh yeah, 30 seconds. I thought it said 30 stone for a second. I was a bit confused. So it's 50 gold. Then once you've aged up, you go straight into your Badu Khan and straight into Tord goods after it. I wonder if there's a world where you don't even go for the Badu Khan and you just go for 2 sets of Tord goods instead. We'll have to wait and see exactly what the macro is going to look like for him, but I think that might actually be viable. Because don't get me wrong, Badu Khan is cool, but I don't think you need him that early. I feel like the more units you've got, the better it's going to be, because he doesn't have a huge amount of damage, he doesn't have a lot of health, and at the end of the day, if you could like get out double Tord good instead, that could be big. So we'll keep an eye out on exactly what the play is. As previously before, we're not going to watch too much of Louis MT. You guys know exactly what this guy's up to. You know where he's been, and you know he's playing the English. We have watched this civilization many a years, and well, it is. I'm curious to see which landmark he goes for. Let's check what the landmark's going to be. Is it going to be what we suspect it will be? Will it be something different? Is he going to go Abbey? Let's have a look and see. It's going to be Council Hall, isn't it? I can feel it. He's going to put the Council Hall down right here, right there. Right there. We knew it. We knew it was Council Hall, we just didn't know where he was putting it down. He's using the gold vills, of course. I totally forgot. It's been a long time since I played Council Hall. You'll have to forgive me. 3 vills on that age up. Let's ride on board with his opponent, though, and see how Sass is doing here. Plenty of vills underneath the town center. He's got 10 vills on food early on in this game. Gur is up. No upgrades through for either of these players at this stage. Just raw dogging it all the way to the second age. A good old-fashioned style of play. Uvu is up. Has he scouted out the second stone? He has. So let's see if he looks to try and do that same thing. Khan and Tord gods once again. And I guess that's another thing that sort of encourages you to avoid building carts, is because why do I need building carts for a stable when I've already got a stable in my golden tent? I like the way that he's thinking with it. So he's moved a whole bunch of vills over now onto wood. So with this, he's going to obviously be looking to pick up his next Uvu. The Uvu cost is quite prohibitive. If we take a look over here, 150 wood for your Uvu. So the question is, where does he go? Does he go here? I would suspect he probably comes up towards this. This is going to be a little bit easier to defend. Ideally, you want to take this. If you can find that, That's a really good Uvu positioning because it's at the back of the base. And the other thing to know is it's going to encourage your opponent to come out here and try and siege that down. So it means there's further land for you to intercept them on. Whole bunch of sheep now coming through. He's got 9 sheep, but he's run out. He's made a little bit of a mistake right here. Technically a mistake, but it's one of those small things where he's gone idle. The vills could have been moved up. He could have brought them across, but you could see he was really prioritizing on finding these Uvus in the back of the base or stone outcroppings in the back of the base. So he'll be happy with that. We'll see him moving out a villager probably in the next 20 seconds or so. Let's check back in with Louis MT though and see how he's doing because we've got the second house now coming up. Barracks is already finished. He can't make spearmen yet. Keep that in mind. No spearmen yet because he doesn't have access to the spearmen in the Dark Age. He's got the men at arms, but not the spearmen. And that's always one of the cool things about the English is the fact that you don't have to upgrade your spearmen. You just come out of the gate hardened, which is, well, it's not always the best, but it can be useful. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about Sass and what his play style is, or his plan is here. 13 seconds to go, so I would expect that we're going to see that Vil move out. Needs to come back here. He's actually got the Scouting Falcon over on this position. A little bit late, though, with this villager moving out towards the Uvu, so that's one key difference. Let's see. Maybe he's not going for the early Uvu. Up to 300 stone already. So yeah, you could definitely go back-to-back Torgoods here. The other thing to note is that they are... Yeah, so he's going straight into archery range. Interesting decision here. So not going to be going into the opening with the double or the Torgoods. Goes for the Batu Khan. Archery range. And now he's put the Torgood in the queue as well. Now, the Batu Khan comes out pretty quickly. He's 19 seconds. So I think there's definitely a world where it does make sense to have him just because it's an extra unit that you've got super quick. And like if we take a look at the numbers that he's got, he's sitting on 10 damage, 330 health with the plus 30. It's not bad. It's not terrible. Longbow out here. Look at this longbow. These longbows are... just protecting at the moment. They're just protecting, just keeping an eye out on exactly what's happening. Scout moving across the map. He's also got... Oh, we're taking advantage of the new campfire, are we? There's a campfire under here, and it now provides an extra 10% gather rate for nearby huntable animals. So this is a change that's happened to the English in the most recent patch. Something that I haven't really talked about too much because it's minor, but at the end of the day, it does definitely add up. An extra 10%. Hey, I'm not... You want an extra 10%? Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it. Does look like the Uvu has now been built on the backside. We'll check in with Sass and see how he's doing as the unit number continues to climb in. This is strange. A fortified outpost on the front. He wants to get that extra 10%. The only trouble with this, though, and I will say it right now, this is a good positioning here if you're looking to secure this huntable deer. The trouble is that your opponent can very easily go around this, right? If they see this and they know you're going to get an extra 10% health if you fight near it, then they'll just go around it, right? We'll just go and attack over here. We'll just go and attack somewhere else. But it is a great deterrent from this, and especially against an opponent making longbow and spears to deter them, because it's not like cavalry where the cavalry come in and just attack and they run away. The longbow and spears would really have to commit quite hard. And we now start to see the villagers moving out. There are plenty of sheep underneath the town center, but he's going to focus on taking those deer. Who knows whether or not the English actually move into a professional scout civilization? I'm just throwing that out there. Could it happen with the campfire? So your units can make a campfire. You can see we've got the double campfire. I'm just seeing, yeah, where have we got it? It's on the spears, I think. Maybe it's on the scout. Is it on the scout? Yeah, it's on the scout. So 25 wood. So not a huge amount of wood, and for 10% gather rate. So do you put the campfire under here? Use professional scouts? Maybe even go into the Abbey of Kings potentially. Could be an option. Could be an option. Anyway, we'll check back in and see what the play is. It's a very slow start right here. I will say that right now. And we've got interesting decision making coming out from both players. More Torgoods are coming out at the moment, so number is starting to build on them. And keep in mind, he's still yet to add in that stable behind the scenes. So we're just really sticking with the single archery range with the Torgoods on the front and that extra 10% health that's going to be coming through shortly when that edict undoubtedly goes out. Go on, send your defensive aura edict, my friend. You can see the enemy troops. You want to do your best to make sure that you're defending. I guess I mean, you're not gaining anything else otherwise. So yeah, you want to make sure you don't forget switching that over just because with the production speed, it needs to be within the influence. So we can see the influence around the edge right here. And now, Torgoods beginning to move down towards the south. I think he's potentially looking to strike out the enemy position here. A couple of spears already lying in wait. Should be able to hold off these troops for the moment. And you can see that he's trying to bait these spears out, and he's done a wonderful job with it. Longbow going to be coming through. Vils are on the run as well. And he's turned around completely. Where are the rest of the units? More and more spears coming out. He's up to 3 spearmen out here. No villager taken down just yet. This could be a painful loss, though, as villager... Look at the micro coming out from Louis MT here. Meanwhile, towards the front, archers taking on the longbows. A lot of spears here. These guys are chasing into no man's land, and now he's focusing down villages. I think he's taken out... We've got a 1-for-1 trade at the moment. Longbows taking down the archers on the back. Cavalry going to be moving across the map. Badu Khan needs to make sure that there's plenty of enemy units in his base, and he needs to make sure that he's getting back there and starting to do hitting. And has he just surrendered? He's just surrendered straight up. He said, good game, well played. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Bit of a weird one, that second one. But in the end, that is going to be it. So there's a little bit of a strange video for you guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this format. 2 shorter games together rather than one big long one. But it gives us a good insight on how these two play. Make sure you check them out. Links in the description as well as a link to Steam.